Hey, Xiaoming, what are you going to do this weekend?
Well, some of my friends and I will have a get together with David. He's an international student from the US in our university. He just came back from a long, exciting trip in Yunnan, and he said he had lots of stories to tell.
That sounds interesting. Have fun.
Wait a minute, Miss Zhang. Talking of David's story sharing, I think I need some advice. You know, he's a native speaker and he speaks fast, and I think his story would be a long one. I'm afraid I won't be able to follow it. Can you give me some advice on this? I do not want to look silly.
Oh, I see what you mean. Actually, the kind of story or talk you mentioned is called a narrative. It's common to hear a narrative in daily communication. In a narrative speech, people describe an event, share their experiences, or give an account of details of something. There are skills for following a narrative. First of all, before listening to a narrative, you should bear one thing in mind, that the narrative is usually structured in a coherent sequence. Speakers tend to use chronological sequence when describing their experience or telling a story, because it's the way things happen and it's easier for the listeners to follow. But sometimes speakers do not strictly stick to it. Sometimes they may change the order in which things happened and structure the story in a different way. Let's listen to an example.
On a gray Saturday morning, I arrived at Manchester Airport, heading on a holiday with no idea where I'd be going. At a total loss, my first surprise journey was ahead of me. It all started 2 weeks ago when I saw that a Dutch company was launching its surprise holiday concept in the UK.
The speaker starts his narrative with, "On a grey Saturday morning." But then the time shifts back to 2 weeks ago. So being aware of that could help you get ready and better follow the narrator. Then during your listening, what you need to do is to find the classic 5 W's and 1 H in the story. They are who. Who is the character? What. What happens? Where. Where does the story take place? When. When does the story take place? Why. Why does it happen? How. How does the story take place? While you're listening to a narrative, you should try to find out the 6 elements in the speaker's words. For some important elements, you may even need to take some notes if necessary. With a clear chart either in your mind or on your notebook, you will get a better understanding of the basic framework of the whole story. In this process, you need to pay special attention to the action verbs, specific nouns, connectives, and important adjectives. They're important for you to catch the information about the 5 W's and 1 H. But all those are not enough. After you've finished your listening, remember to give a second thought on the speaker's intention of telling the story. For all the stories the speakers are telling, there must be a theme or message that the speakers are trying to convey to their listeners.
Oh, Miss Zhang, that's really helpful. I think I can enjoy David's story this time. Thank you.
I'm glad to hear this. Have a happy weekend with your friends.